I'm giving a trigger warning for this video. If you have recently suffered loss or you were triggered by previous losses, do not watch this. I'm going to be emotional and honest, and I just want to put that right up front. I don't want to harm anyone, and I don't want to make anyone upset. Please do not watch this if you are triggered by loss, or you're currently pregnant and you have high anxiety. I don't even know where to start this video. So it's been a while. I wasn't sure if I was planning on filming and posting this part of my life. Generally what I've posted has to do with us trying to have a baby, fertility, following the pregnancy and everything. As you've seen in my older videos, whether or not we wanted to have a third baby, we basically had decided no, we didn't want a third baby. But over the past few months, we've been talking and we kind of came to the realization that we're not done having kids, and I just wasn't going to film it because I have kind of removed myself a bit from social media, not posting as much, just kind of enjoying our life for what it is. I've been so busy. We have a little hobby farm, so just the animals and the girls. We've just been busy, and I've enjoyed keeping our little family to ourselves. So I had no intention of filming anything to do with, you know, trying to conceive, or I wasn't even sure if I was going to film the birth, if we were to get pregnant, etc. But obviously we can't predict life, and the month that I went off birth control, because I thought I would have, you know, some time to regulate hormones and all that stuff, we actually got pregnant right away. And after the first initial shock of, you know, finding out that soon, I was really excited, and so was Dan. Again, after the initial shock, we thought we were going to have a few months, but I was grateful that we had the experience where we didn't have to struggle with, you know, testing every month and getting disappointed like we did when we first tried with Rylan. I was very thankful for that. So this is a recent loss, so it's hard for me to talk about. But this, I think, is part of the healing, and so I'm gonna power through it as best as I can. This is why I'm not wearing makeup, because I knew this was gonna happen. But so we found out that we were expecting a baby. I continuously took digital tests to make sure that my pregnancy was progressing, and it was. The digital tests kept saying, you know, 1 to 2 weeks pregnant, 2 to 3 weeks, 3+, and etc. I didn't have any pregnancy symptoms except for basically just being tired, and that's not unusual for my body, because with both of my previous pregnancies, which if you already know, 2 healthy girls, I never had morning sickness. I was just tired, thirsty. I never really had any major issues, so I wasn't concerned with that with this pregnancy. But it's still first trimester, you're worried. So I had paid to get a early sneak peek ultrasound in another city, because they don't do that here. I paid $50. Dan and I went out there at 8 weeks, and we saw the heartbeat, we listened to it, and that's when we told our family beyond our parents. We told our siblings, and I just told a few friends that there was a heartbeat, because as everyone knows, that's the thing that you stress about the most in the first trimester, is to make sure that there is a little heart beating in there. So at 8 weeks I was confirmed. We had pictures, we saw it, and then carried on. So my first actual doctor's appointment was at 10 weeks, and even then they aren't even supposed to see us until like 12 weeks, which is insane to me. But that's the way they do it in this town. We have to go through a prenatal clinic, not our family doctor. So there's no blood testing, there's nothing. But however, I had called and asked to get in earlier because I have a history with thyroid issues. With my first pregnancy, I was on Synthroid. My second pregnancy, I wasn't, but I did have to get monitored. So this pregnancy, they got me in at 10 weeks. And because it's a prenatal clinic system, they had us go through, like, basically you see the public health nurse, which kind of acts like a social worker. At the same time, they ask about, you know, how's your finances, how's your relationship, how's your mental health, how's your everything, how are your past pregnancies. And then you move over to the prenatal nurse, who, my camera ran out of room. So you go from the public health nurse to the prenatal nurse, and that's where she takes all of your weight and your height, again goes over your history with past pregnancies. And then after all of that, then you're to meet with the doctor who's on staff that day, and that's when they will use the Doppler or the portable ultrasound machine and, you know, talk to you about any other concerns that you have. So we had spent, Dan and I, because it was our first appointment, we had spent like 2 hours there before we met with the doctor. And the doctor ended up having to deliver a baby, so we had to wait longer. So we were getting antsy about the whole thing. And then finally we got to go in. Again, she talked about, you know, mental health, everything like that. And then finally, I laid down on the table to look at the portable ultrasound. And at first, you know, I was nervous, but I wasn't concerned. You know, it's that first trimester worry, but at the same time, I had already seen a heartbeat. We had already seen the baby, so I wasn't as nervous. And I told the doctor, like, oh, we did see a heartbeat already. And she was like, oh, good, good, good. And then when she put the ultrasound on me, I could tell that the baby was smaller. It didn't seem like the same ultrasound that I had with my previous pregnancies for that stage for 10 weeks. She had a hard time finding it, and then when she did find it, she was able to get a clear image. And that's when I didn't see the little, you know, flicker of the heart. And she knew that I knew that it wasn't there. And I instantly started to tear up, and I said, I don't see a heartbeat. And she goes, yeah, I don't see any little wiggles, but you know, this isn't the best ultrasound for this. What I would like to do is I'm going to send you in for an actual ultrasound. Just give me a second and I'm going to give a call. And I knew that we lost the baby then. I didn't need the other ultrasound, I knew that, but of course you want to think optimistically. But to go from seeing the heartbeat to not seeing the heartbeat, I knew that the baby was gone. So Dan was just kind of like you don't know yet, and I told him, like, the doctor and I both know that the baby is not there, like, alive. And sure enough, they got me in for the ultrasound right away, and I just laid on the bed basically crying while he scanned me, and Dan had to wait out in the truck. And thankfully it was a radiologist, so when he left the room, and then he came back and he confirmed what I already knew. And he told me to head back over to the prenatal clinic because they would be able to go over the next steps from there. So I went out to Dan, crying obviously. We went over to the prenatal clinic and had to wait with all the pregnant women waiting for their appointments. And that's when we finally met with the doctor, and she confirmed again and said everything, like, you know, there's nothing that you did, there was nothing that you took, there was nothing there was nothing that I did to cause this. And I said, yes, I know. No, you know, you were always questioning that. And then I asked how far along the baby was. Oh. Sorry. And she told us 8 weeks and 3 days. So we had lost the baby just after that first ultrasound. And I had carried it for 2 more weeks without my body knowing, and my hormones weren't dropping. So my body had no way of knowing that I needed to naturally miscarry the baby. I think that was the hardest part. Oh, get yourself together. So from there, that's basically when we discussed our options, and we went with the more aggressive approach and went with the DNC, and they got me into day surgery like right away, and they put me under for that, and it was just all a blur, honestly, because they were kind of sneaking me in. It was just like quick, and the surgical doctor the surgeon was very good. He, you know, was explaining to Dan like, hey, a lot of people are going to be coming in and, you know, testing your wife and doing all this stuff. They, you know, I'm allergic to adhesives, so he was worried that they were putting all this stuff on me, and I said there's nothing I can do about it. Let's just get this done. It was kind of an out of body experience for me. I kind of just zoned out. During all their questions, you know, have you had a blood transfusion in the past, whatever, have you had this done and whatever, and then one of the questions she said, have you been pregnant in the past 3 months? And I said, yep. That's why I'm here. They got me in right away. I was put out, thankfully. I don't think I could have been awake for that. So it was painless and quick, and I just didn't think, you know, that my 9 a.m. doctor's appointment was gonna turn into same day surgery to be put under. But I'm thankful. The doctors were really good, and the whole thing was just very quick. I know some people who've had to wait weeks between finding out the horrible news to having to, you know, deal with it so that their body could start healing and your cycle can start again. So I'm thankful for that, and just this whole experience. I have never experienced loss like this, and I know a lot of my subscribers have, and that's why I'm posting this. I'm posting it so that you can relate, that I know how you feel and what you went through. So many people have sent me messages in the past saying, you know, like, I've had this many miscarriages and I love watching your channel. You know, you inspire me, blah, 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 blah. And I've always been so thankful, but I've never really understood until now, which is sad, but it's just, yeah. Moving forward, I'm still healing mentally and physically right now. I have to wait about 2 months before my cycle even comes back, and even then I'm not sure what our plan is, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be filming our journey moving forward. I'm not sure. I just want to be transparent and not hide everything, and I don't know my goal for this channel. I don't know, but I did want to post this for those of you that can relate, and maybe you just find help knowing that other people have gone through the same thing. So that's the only thing, and I'm sorry for the family that's watching this that I never told that we were pregnant. We were waiting for the 12-week mark, so I was 2 weeks out from telling you guys, so I'm sorry that this is how you're finding out, but I was trying to spare, you know, our grandparents from experiencing this loss, because it is so common. It's like 1 in 4, 1 in 5. So that's that. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry this is a sad update, and I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry for my family, my body, my mind. Yeah, and I'm sorry for everyone who's also experienced loss. So